Hello, I'm David Bosick, and welcome to Part 4, the Cinema Conspiracy, Section B, the Kubrick Clue, of my continuing series on the moon hoax, which can be viewed respectively on my political news magazine independent channels on YouTube and Rumble. Please make a note in this video, some of the information I cite or debate with comes from the Weaver book. I also have, as you know, some of my own theories within the moon hoax theories that I usually talk about in every video. When it comes to this video, you may actually be watching it because you're highly interested in the theory that Stanley Kubrick filmed and thus faked the moon landings. It may be the biggest theory revolving around the moon hoax theory, and I believe it very well may be the truth. If you're interested in those theories, you can find them on page 74 of Weaver's book. There's a lot of different theories involved in that, and I'm going to talk about some of that here now. Stanley Kubrick worked on 2001, the movie, for 5 years. A lot of people don't know that, but I did. It was a long production from 1964 through 68. It was a very long production for a movie. A big, massive red flag when it comes to the moon hoax. He was working with NASA at this time. A lot of people don't know this. He was basically a consultant for NASA. Therefore, he had access to NASA's information, secrets, and of course, moon models and data and things of this nature based on outer space. Frederick Ordway III and sci-fi writer Arthur C. Clarke were at Stanley Kubrick's studio, Shepperton, a lot in the UK. They were there a lot. This is another massive red flag within the moon hoax. Douglas Trumbull may have been a special effects person that helped fake the moon landings, according to page 77 in the book. He later did the film Silent Running, which you may have heard of, which came out in the 1970s. There's a lot of theories that people that were involved in the production of this movie had also helped fake the moon landings. In my opinion, NASA may have faked all this because of technical issues. They were afraid of an accident up there, meaning they were afraid people could get killed in outer space by blowing up. They also probably couldn't do it. I believe NASA didn't have the technology and couldn't go to the moon. And that's basically why this was faked, among other reasons. Front screen projection, or FSP, was used in the film 2001 and other movies around that time. Kubrick had perfected the technique, a massive red flag. There's a scene in Capricorn 1 where a screen or a NASA engineer starts questioning data numbers from Mars and is killed off by the NASA deep state in the movie. The scenario is very similar to the moon hoax theories, another massive red flag from that movie. Ordway, Clarke, and Kubrick were all involved in the making of 2001. Therefore, I believe they were all involved in the faking of the moon landings. It would be 50 million to 1 that this is a coincidence, folks. They were all involved in this. Apollo 11, in my opinion, was an offshoot of the film making of 2001. It made almost $200 million at the box office. Apollo 11 was almost like a subsidiary business of 2001 in some ways, in my view. According to Weaver, Apollo 11 video might have been shot at Pinewood Studios in the UK. Remember, all these studios were tied to Kubrick. Astros could be actors, in my opinion. Remember, you can't see under the visors in outer space. They could have been anybody. They could have been paid actors. We don't even know if the people in the photos that you see are actually even astronauts. People need to wake up. There's a Bill casing tribute at the end of Weaver's book. In '61, Bill became privy to the idea, according to him, that NASA was considering faking the moon landings when JFK was in there. Very quickly, he later left NASA out of disgust. Bill later learned that NASA could simulate micrometeor lunar impacts with two-stage projectile systems. What does this mean? Well, in layman's terms, in my view, this is what it means. They can fake lunar craters. They can do lunar crater or moon crater simulation. They can do human contact faking on the moon at this time, meaning they had the ability to fake what the moon looked like and to fake the concept that humans were walking around on the moon. They had this ability. Remember, with tens of billions of dollars, you can fake anything. He learned how corrupt NASA was becoming as early as '61. The Kubrick clue, in my opinion, is just one of many clues of this entire scenario. It is a big red flag, but there are more that I'm going to talk about in subsequent videos. Okay, on to some other stuff. My next video is going to talk about the movie The Shining and the theories that Stanley Kubrick had put clues to the moon hoax in the film The Shining. I'm also going to talk about the documentary Room 237 that exposed all this. A lot of people that are movie buffs and moon hoax buffs also have a big interest in this theory. I'm going to talk about it in the next video. I'm also going to talk about, at the end of the video, the possibility that NASA is still faking all this to this very day, including the idea that Mars footage may all be faked. Okay, on to some other stuff. Please make a note that I don't use AI in any of these videos, and I no longer have a Spotify account. I dissolved my Spotify account in 2023. I put almost all my time into Rumble, X, and YouTube. Please make a note of that. Thank you for your time. Till the next video, it's free to subscribe.